see you struggling with this. I'm glad it's you. You're doing a good job, and as you look at the state challenges and so on, and these leverage comments, I think it's appropriate to note that the Arts Council request is essentially leveraged about 3-to-1, as we heard in the January presentation. But by the time you look at what the motivational aspects of this are, and you look at the 4 board members and the executive directors are here, and you look at how that fans out to inspire about 100 different art organizations, thousands of artists, and improve the cooperation with the Chambers of Commerce, the Mendocino County Promotional Alliance, the relationship with the Wine Grape Commission and the Lodging Association, and what that does for the county. This $30,000, which would buy you about one full-time entry-level employee at the county level who would work hard at their computer or their shovel or whatever it is they're doing, that same $30,000 has a huge effect in the county. When it comes to tourism, which is, of course, one of our focuses in terms of economic future, arts, it's all in there. So we know that you're teetering along to try and get things balanced, but we are on pretty solid footing. Would you like to keep your support and maintain that? And I see I've managed to do that in less than 3 minutes, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wagonet. Others wishing to speak to these 3 items, please step forward. State your name for the record.
My name is Anna Quinlan, and I'm the Executive Director of the Arts Council of Mendocino County. And today you've been talking about essential services. And it's my opinion that the arts are an essential service, and I know it's yours as well. The arts are essential because they boost tourism, enhance education, enrich our community, and enliven our spirit. I understand that funds are tight this year, but please, when you're considering which request to fund, please think back to our discussion in January when we heard from a number of art supporters, including Muriel Johnson, Paul Titchenen, and Lydia Atkins and Megan Barber. And we also reviewed our proposal packet of over 20 letters of support from our local community leaders. And at that time, your unanimous agreement was to match the Arts Council's request. And the Arts Council has been working hard since January. We've been building new partnerships, improving existing services and programs, and reaching out to our arts community and to our visitors. With funding from the county, we will be able to leverage our funds from the state, and as Hal said, for every $1, we can match it with 3 from memberships and donations, grants, fundraising, and earn income. With funding from the county, the Arts Council will be able to add new programs and services and strengthen existing ones. So I sincerely thank you for your time and consideration, and I look forward to our continued partnership.
Thank you.
John McCowan. Mr. Chair, members of the board, I support all of the external funding requests before you for the Resource Conservation District for the reasons articulated by the chair, for the Arts Council, and for the Juvenile Justice Commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCowan. Others wishing to speak to this item? Okay, I'll close this section of the public comment and bring it back to staff. Any additional discussion to this point?
Not at this time, unless the board has any additional questions.
Okay. I do believe that generated one. Supervisor Pinches.
There's nothing in here addressing, we just approved last week to moving forward with a $250,000 study to the feasibility study phase 2 of the Scout Lake, and there's nothing in, it's not even addressed as a funding request. How are we going to address this? I mean, there's a $80,000 fund balance carryover in the water agency, and maybe a position that could be realigned to be equal to, say, half of that. But how are we going to address the other basically $150,000? That should be on this list.
Ms. Glassy?
It is our sense that there is money in the water agency budget for the study, particularly as this apparently becomes the highest priority and other projects are set on a back burner. So there was a certain amount of money available for projects, and we'd need to ask Roland if he, since that was the direction that just came last week, to kind of match up his previous lists of projects and how it would change based on the direction received last week. But it's our sense that there was money in his budget for projects, and so it's a matter of putting that towards Scout Lake. The other thing is that, as I said, we were putting money in contingency that is available for water agency use as well.
But there's only a $80,000 fund balance carryover in the water agency. I'm assuming that means that the other monies have been spent for them other projects and whatnot to get down to the one project. So I just, we need to address this issue at this time. I mean, these are our final budget deliberations, so we need to, if it's a priority, if water's a priority, then it certainly should be on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, in between now and this afternoon, we will check with Roland and see how his list lines up with our understanding of the budget.
because that makes a lot to do with, the way it looks here. If you okayed this the way it is, basically, we can